darkness did not end the day for ancient people. It started a different one. A second life ran every single night for hundreds of thousands of years, and almost none of it survives in the way we imagine it. No moonlit hunts, no screaming saber-toothed chases. The truth is quieter and stranger. Once the sun dropped, the entire species became functionally blind prey animals sitting in the open. And what they built to survive that blindness turned into something historians almost missed. It turned into the origin of human culture itself. Right now, you sleep under a switch. Flip it, and darkness disappears. That single convenience is only about a century old. For roughly 200,000 years before that, every human alive faced 12 hours of true darkness every single day. No exceptions. That is not a footnote in the story of our species. That is half of the entire story, and we have almost completely ignored it. So what actually happened once the light was gone? First came the fire management shift. A fire is not self-sustaining. It needs constant feeding, or it dies within an hour. So every band assigned someone to watch it. Not glamorous work, not heroic, just staring into flame for hours, making sure it did not go out. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer groups, like the Juhoinzi of the Kalahari, found this role often fell to older members of the group. People past their hunting years, but still essential. Darkness did not make the elderly useless. It made them load-bearing. Second came proximity, bodies packed close. Not for comfort alone, but for thermoregulation and defense. A lone sleeper loses body heat fast and hears a predator last. A cluster of sleepers shares warmth and multiplies the ears listening for danger. Group sleep was not intimacy, it was infrastructure. Third, and this is the part that changes everything, once the fire was stable and the group was fed, the talking began, and researcher Polly Wiesner ran a study on exactly this. She recorded daytime conversation among the Juhoinzi and then recorded their firelight conversation after dark. The daytime talk was almost entirely practical: complaints, logistics, gossip about resource disputes, functional noise. The nighttime talk was different in kind. Stories, myths, accounts of distant relatives, explanations of where the world came from. Nearly 80% of firelight conversation was storytelling compared to almost none during daylight hours. Here is the uncomfortable math inside that number. If firelight was the primary venue for storytelling, and storytelling is how values get transmitted across generations, then darkness itself was the engine of human culture. Not the hunt, not the tool making. The fire circle after sunset. That is where a child learned who the ancestors were. What was forbidden? What a good person did under pressure. Take away the dark hours, and you do not just remove sleep time, you remove the classroom. Now contrast that against the version of ancient nightlife most people carry around in their heads. Pop culture gives us cavemen huddled in terror, jumping at every sound, barely surviving until dawn. Real anthropology gives us something closer to a nightly seminar. Yes, there was fear. Genuine fear of large nocturnal predators was constant and rational. But fear and ritual were not opposites. Fear was often the reason the ritual existed. Storytelling about monsters in the dark doubled as a coded warning system, teaching children exactly which sounds meant run and which meant nothing at all. There is a second layer buried under all of this, and it involves sleep itself. Historian Roger Ekirch spent years combing through pre-industrial records, court documents, diaries, medical texts, and found consistent references to something called first sleep and second sleep. People slept for a few hours, woke naturally in the middle of the night for 1 to 2 hours, then slept again until morning. That waking period was not wasted. It was used for prayer, conversation, sex, small household tasks, even visiting neighbors. An entire second social window existed inside the night that modern sleep patterns have erased almost completely. Think about what that means. Ancient humans were not fighting to survive one long, unbroken dark stretch. They were living inside two distinct nighttime phases with a deliberate gap of consciousness between them. Our ancestors did not simply endure the night. They subdivided it, scheduled it, made use of it. Now zoom out. Why does any of this matter today? Because artificial light did something no one voted on. It quietly deleted an entire evolutionary institution. The fire circle is gone. The forced proximity is gone. First sleep and second sleep have been compressed into a single unbroken block by electric light and screens that trick the brain into thinking the sun never set. Sleep researchers now link this shift to rising rates of insomnia and fragmented attention. Not because humans grew weaker, because we removed the two nightly rituals our biology was built around and replaced them with nothing. There is irony sitting right in the middle of this. Modern people spend enormous amounts of money chasing the exact experience their ancestors got for free every night. Retreats that ban phones after sunset. Bonfire gatherings marketed as digital detox. Therapy built around structured storytelling circles. We are quietly reconstructing the fire circle industry by industry. Without realizing, we are rebuilding something we already had for 200,000 years and gave away. So here is the uncomfortable question worth sitting with. If the dark hours were where culture, memory, and identity actually got built, and we have spent 1 century systematically erasing those hours with light we can switch on and off at will, what exactly did we trade away to see in the dark?